And we went out on strike, and on that particular day, I'd hired a coach to go as far as Oswestry. And when they said, look, we're going to go further afield, I had to phone the guy in Wrexham and say, look, Techwin, can I have the coach for another few hours? And he said, yeah, carry on. So what they tried to do is to say that we'd conspired at a meeting to go to the particular sites. Well, the particular site where all the trouble was alleged to have happened was a McAlpine site. But there was 80 policemen with us. 80 policemen. No one was cautioned, no one was arrested, no one had their name and address taken, and that was it.
So when did you know you were in trouble?
4 months later, 15 weeks later, they come to see me on the building site where I was working, because I was living in Wrexham at the time, and they said, look, we know your family history, and what we'd like you to do is be a prosecution witness, so we've decided to prosecute the pickets. We want you to be a prosecution witness. I said, I was in charge. I was in charge of the Wrexham lads. I said, and, you know, I took all the decisions, and I went to every meeting, and he went, well, if you won't be a prosecution witness, we'll have to charge you. And that's what they did.
And they did. How much time did you serve in prison for
Well, this is funny because people won't believe this. I didn't serve me full sentence. And I wasn't paroled. I was thrown out. I was thrown out of prison.
How do you get thrown out?
I'll tell you, because I had a meeting in the governor's office with an MP and 2 trade unionists from Liverpool who said, we want you to go home. I said, I didn't want to be here in the first place.
But you weren't exonerated then? You weren't exonerated?
Oh, no, what they were doing, they were giving Desi, my mate, who I'd got 2 years, he'd got 3 years, they were giving him the needle and the draft, and they were frightened of him dying in prison. Because when he come out of jail, he never worked again. And he died of chemically induced Parkinson's. And that's what all this cover-up is about. It's not only that, but because we've done a lot of the time on what they call on the blanket, wearing no clothes, went on hunger strike for 31 days, done all that. But the main thing is, Desi was adopted as a prisoner of conscience by Amnesty International. 3 months after he was adopted, he was disadopted, if that's the right expression. He was taken off by someone in the Labour Party who said, get him off.
Now, there's a number of things there that you mentioned. The story, for a start, which is the basis of your show in Edinburgh, Guilty My Arse. It's called, tying in with a previous catchphrase of yours. So you're not exactly going along there for a laugh, are you?
There'll be a few laughs along the way.
Along the way. And the second thing is you mentioned the Labour Party to do with all of this. What do you think of the Jeremy Corbyn situation? I mean, Andy Burnham's already spoken this morning. He's number 2 in the polls for this, and he's saying, look, if I win, I'll embrace Corbyn. I'll bring him in with me. Okay. He mightn't have that power to do that.
Well, I know both of them, and I know Andy quite well, and he was my choice right up till I went to listen to Jeremy Corbyn. And I went to the Adelphi Hotel, and there was 3,000 people there. The room holds 800. There was 3,000 there. They were out into the streets. They couldn't get in. And everything he said, I agreed with. You know, leave the National Health Service alone, get rid of Trident and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter to me who gets the leadership. It really doesn't matter. But whatever happens, both of them will be in the shadow cabinet.
But a lot of people are saying it does matter, though, Ricky, because if he's not, people are saying he's unelectable. So you say, you know,
so he'd be the leader of the Labour Party, but never the Labour of the country.
Well, I know, we got unelectable at the last election. So what's the difference?
What's the difference?